in the
In the
place
building.
to be. Brother Howard 702 LV. Howard our brother, man, the craziest, hardest working man in the metaverse, IRL and VR, brother Howard. How are you doing, man? How are you?
I am
Oh
doing
shit.
good. I am good. I cannot
Damn.
complain. Cannot complain, man. Sitting down finally, probably for the first time all this week. So that's a good thing.
Good to have you, man. For real, man. I'm glad we've been playing phone tag, but I see you've been traveling here and there, so I'm glad to get you while you settled in.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. This is way overdue, like a library book by a third grader. So yes.
Bro, I be loving your quotes, bro. Your quotes be classic. Bro, but I want to welcome everybody to In the Lens with Benz. I'm your host, Beneficial Films, but y'all know me in the VR as Beneficial Games. Today we're doing something different, bringing together the virtual and the real. I'm here as my avatar in VR, and joining me on FaceTime using Discord is my man Howard 702 LV, a real world creators who making waves in this digital space. Content creator, VR host, a VR builder, VR artist, the whole nine, man. One of the hardest working mans I know in the metaverse. On the show, we talk about virtual reality, AI, and the creative journeys of those shaping the future. It's about imagination, innovation, and community. And today we diving in. My man Howard, bro, how are you doing, man? Can you introduce yourself and share when you got started here in this VR space?
Man, yes. I love the intro. I love the intro. But yes, if you don't know, this is your boy HT. Power 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untie his shoes. See the vibe and you see the move, man. I started in this wonderful platform that we're in called virtual reality at the end of 2021. Yeah, so like at the end of like the pandemic and everything that was all coming around, all this and that, like I ended up getting a headset. End up getting like the beta testing and everything for Horizon Worlds at the time, and it was like right after the venues, and that brought me in. And man, shout out to Gutty's nightclub at the time. But yeah, turned to Soapstone
Goodies.
now. But that's where I was able to get my jump at now, man. I did my first ever show in VR at that club, and that's what like jumped me in this space.
It was called Goodies.
Yes, it was called Gutties at the time before it was Soapstone. Like that's why I'm
Oh
saying like this
snap!
is
I didn't
like
know that.
prehistoric days, how I call it.
I didn't know that, bro. And you always was in the VR. When did you got started? Like, how did you get up in the headset? What made you pick up the
Well,
headset
to
in the
be
first
honest, like
place?
again, like I tell you, it was at the end of the pandemic and everything, and I ended up again getting my headset and all that around like right before Christmas or so, and just going on there like with the craze. Like at the time, it was like MetaQuest was everywhere, and I'm seeing like okay, I always been a fan of virtual reality and everything all my life. So to really sit here, I'm okay. Let me get a headset. Got a headset and everything, and getting on there, like jumping around, playing games and all that. Like one of the first games I was playing on there was what like Epic Roller Coasters, and that's what like
Epic roller coaster.
brought me like drawn more in about like okay, this is like in your face with it. And then like right at that time, Horizon Worlds wasn't out yet, so the only thing that you did have on there was like venues, and wasn't on VR chat and all that yet. So I was just on venues,
Oh,
going around, going on there like watching the Two Chain show and everything they had at the time. And again, all my people who was like on
oh
VR like
yeah,
back
Two
in
Chain show,
21,
right?
no, they only had like certain shows and venue. Like it was a fish show. They had can watch the fighting, and they had the Two Chain show. And end up getting on there, meeting with some people from like who was just bouncing on there like I was, and they end up telling me about the Horizon World like program, well not program, but telling me about Horizon Worlds coming in and everything, and end up downloading that. Like I told you, end up getting on that, and but I wasn't in a community yet though. About getting on this, I was still like just being a avid how you say user of it.
Oh yeah, man. And you started with the venues, right? And not so my fault, man. Looking, I can't turn. I can't turn my controller for some reason, so I'm gonna just bring my bottle in and hopefully that don't mess up the stream because for some reason I'm gonna just move the bot right over here just cause we can do that because we in VR with it, so I don't have to leave. I have to leave and
Yeah.
come back. Oh, see now I gotta now out. Okay, okay. Well, see that's why we do this thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm
Yes,
back. We
sir.
back. We back, man. No, so you saying you started in venues, not even in Horizon Worlds. You didn't even do the VR chat lane. Were you in the alt space lane, the other apps?
No, that's what's crazy. Like again, I didn't find out all about. Let me fix my see. Look, this people trying to call me and stuff when I'm on there. See, that's what's happened. I didn't know about any of those other platforms yet. Or again, while being on the headset. So while being in Horizon Worlds, I didn't learn about like probably until my first year, like really like being in the headset about alt space or VR chat or not even as that like the simple stuff like like rec room. Like I
Mm-hmm.
never knew about that and everything because again, it's always I got on the headset, went straight from venues, played like probably like a game or so on there, and went straight into Horizon because once I seen about performing everything on there, I was literally on there like almost every night, like and not even like in the world builder aspect, like but just like socializing. So
So
no,
you
I
went
never
straight
did the other lanes until like a year later.
then so you went straight from epic roller coasters to venues, and once you seen the concerts, you was like, wait a minute, there's more to this. That's what you saying?
No, not even as that. Like once I seen like after not just with me performing like my first showcase on there, but once I seen like the music was becoming a commodity on here, that's what made like my ears like perk up on it because again, like I told you at this time, there wasn't like really that much to do on Horizon World, besides just go around socialize and everything. So you was going to a lot of these establishments that was building up at the time that was really finding their own lane. So you was meeting a lot of like musicians or I say a lot of like creative people on the road, and that's what like made my ears perk up. And once I seen somebody like try to offer me a meta record deal, that's when I seen like, okay, yeah, there's something serious
Oh,
about this.
somebody gave you a meta record deal, man.
But yeah, it's like yeah, that's what I love about like being in the space. Like back in the old days, I call it
Who giving out record
in the
deals? Who giving
metaverse,
out
man.
meta record deals?
Huh?
Who giving out meta record deals?
Oh, I mean, he's not in the space no more, but he was a cat that was in here that I mean that was showcasing what could be done like in this space, and he was going around trying to find like artists and everything to really do
Oh
music
shit.
and all that in there and bring it from an IRL aspect to a metaverse sense. And I think that's the thing about it. It was too ahead of its time. Like right now, I mean, right now it's perfect because you see like everything AI, all this with the music sense and everything. But with seeing like people was already looking at this as a commodity, that's what made my ears perk up to it. Like, okay, there's something on here. But not even just like with Meta Horizon, but like with just being on the headset. Because I'm like, dang, I can sit here and rap, perform, like I sing, I could do like all my stuff right here from just sitting here on this headset.
Nah, bro. And I'm about to say, how do you even tell people about VR? Because I made the show to give people more of like different perspectives of the people inside the headset and even outside. How do you explain to people like what the metaverse even is or what VR is for those like that go over their head? Like, how do you put in your words?
I love that question. I love that aspect of it because the best way I actually just started thinking about that this year. The best way I explain what the metaverse is now, it is a new age ecosystem of internet. And when I say that, I say like on the internet sense, we go into the internet, it's open face browser and all that. We can make our own like identity with the internet if you don't if you know about that. Like I say in the terms, not just building an avatar or so, but when you go shopping, when you do certain things, when you like make your certain identity, like everybody had a chat box. Everybody, did like the Yahoo Messenger or so, like back in the day, like all this and that. Are
Mm-hmm.
like the famous, you had a Facebook, MySpace, etc. You had stuff that was really showcasing a sense of like just making your own identity, but leaving a staple of yourself with that. And that ecosystem at the time, all you could do that is from like a 2D appearance and everything. But with the metaverse, what I explain to people now, that is it's all in your face. Just like I've said, like I'm like, oh, okay, hey, you like cheeseburgers? You want to order one? You can sit here and go on the app right now, and it will order a cheeseburger to your door. Oh, you like music? You want to sit here and see your favorite band perform? Hey, I could get you right now on YouTube to go see, like, hey, Earth, Wind, and Fire perform. Oh, like you like
Mm.
scary rides and all that? Well, we have a roller coaster right here. So it's many different aspects that you can show now that I'm just basically like this. I'm like, hey, it's in your face now. That's the best way I explain it.
Exactly, my man. Exactly. I love how you said that, bro. And that's how I've been saying it more to people too. It's like the internet or a website that you can get into, that you can jump inside of and kind of like look around that website, and whatever you want the people to see on your website essentially should be in your world. You know what I mean? So I think that was a great explanation, my boy. Uh, did you? Are
Like it's
you?
like
Go ahead.
no, I
My
say I
fault.
say to make you laugh or what's because I mean it made me think about that more. Like one of my favorite comedians, again, Dave Chappelle. Like he did on the Chappelle show when he showed like the internet being a place. And at first I was laughing at them like, hold on, like the internet not a real place or what's so he's going through a mall or what's so that's showing different sides of the internet. And that's what made me perk up and think about, oh, okay, yeah, this is what the metaverse is. Because the metaverse, a lot of people don't understand this now. The metaverse is just not virtual reality. The metaverse is an
Hmm.
ecosystem that makes you immerse into whatever subparticle like that. So the internet, your mobile device, your
Hmm.
phone, XR, AR, hence VR technology. So that's why I had to also clarify with that too, with the immersion of like what is VR and all that, because a lot of people now when they think of the metaverse, the first thing they pop in their head, they think of Meta, Facebook, all this and that. So they already think, okay, hold
Right.
on, this is a whole metaverse. I mean, a whole verse that's made just by meta. Like well, a whole universe. I'm saying verse like it's rap. But that's why I had to clarify just with that too, because that's what also you have to make a distinction nowadays, because it's becoming so much of as a commodity now.
Yeah, one
Just
hundred
like the
percent.
internet wasn't just always the internet. Like you had to say like, okay, hey, I had AOL or I had DSL or I had Yahoo to hook me up or what's so. Like it's different, different brand, not different branding, but different entities that all is like collaborating into this ecosystem now. So.
You think it'll be like Ready Player One, where all the ecosystem will come into one?
Oh yes, I mean it's and its terms is like say it this way, it's already becoming that because we have all these headsets that are going on to these platforms. If you think about it, like it's not to the platform like, hey, it's all just one headset now that you have to like load up like just on this one vibe. Like, but no, you have great people and everything, like HTC, or you have like Pico, like my wonderful people down at Viverse. Like it's many different ecosystems that are in this like metaverse thing that are like making it again just like Ready Player One. And I feel like I said another 10 years, like it's gonna become like you're gonna have like straight like stationary sources that you could go to. Like, well, it'll be like, hey, whatever headset you're on, you could go on this. Like, and I think the best example I've seen of that so far, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that it's like with VR chat and RIP to Allspace. Allspace, I was seeing that because they were seeing that like that was essentially
Hmm.
like, okay, hey, like you got really all these people that's really in this one club right now. And that was like one of the biggest mind bogglers to me. And I'm like, not even just like a different server. You're all on this one server.
Right. Didn't it? Wasn't it like when one server is full, you're able to go to another instance, but you can still like see what's going on stage or some shit like that?
Uh-huh. And that's what I was saying that what they was doing one step above from that, they was I mean, again, they will have it if you're not in there, you can see like again what's going on. They have like live feed or so that was showing, okay, hey, this is like what's like this is a real show that's going on. I'm like, oh, this is just like when you see a live DJ set. You could be in a
Hmm.
whole nother room watching like what they're doing.
Oh yeah, that's hard. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, shout out to Meta, man. They doing everything, updating and making it look and making it more. I feel like they listening to what we've been saying, low key.
They're making it more mainstream. Like in the words of the great man, I say, hey, shout out to Mr. Orion Bar man, yes, of AWE. He said it. He said it best. XR is mainstream, and when I say mainstream, just like how I was telling you, like you could talk to a person now about what's all this like all this that's making up VR and everything. That something might stand out to them. Just like when a few years ago, it wasn't just like that. A lot of people were just thinking, "Oh, hey, well, VR is just about games." Now, when you sit here and talk about
Right.
like VR, XR, what components they do now with it, you can hear about, oh, it helps with health. It helps with like it helps with if you want to lose weight. It helps with if you just want to sit here and escape for a day, or it helps with sit there with being immersed like mainstream. That's what we do. Like when we go to the movies, when we go to a concert, when we sit there or we go and have dinner. We can't sit here and eat yet on VR and all that yet. But folks, they have like stuff on here that you can sit here and see a plate of food and smell it if you have like the right technology around you. That is
Uh,
mainstream right now. Like that is like how you was talking about like Ready Player One. Like I'm a fan of the Matrix, and that's what like the
oh
Matrix
yeah.
is to me. Because I'm like, man, this is a simulation inside of a simulation.
Right.
Like what? Well,
Uh,
don't get me started on that.
no, we ain't done with simulations, bro.
Exactly.
Do you have some background in design, coding, or something completely different, or something? You know what I mean? When it comes to being in VR.
Well, I don't have like I say with designing and everything with that, but I do have like a computer background. I went to school for ECT for electronic computer training, but I always been like
Huh.
a computer head, and not even as that. Like I always been around technology, so I was always sitting there, learning to try to hack. Not even sitting there, I was sitting there modding out the games and everything, And but one of the famous jokes I make about like what made me fall in love with technology, I'm watching Terminator 2 or so, like when I was like 10 years old, and I remember sitting there like these mofo's created this, and now they're
Huh.
running away from it. And I'm like, man, I will never be the one that's on the other
Hmm.
end of technology. So I always just stay with the trend of it or just learning about it. But no, yeah, I went to school and all that for like ECT and got my degree with that. But I never expected it to bring me towards VR.
I'm about to say, what inspired you? Cause you're a builder, right? When you first got in here, what inspired you to start?
Oh,
Are you a
actually, I'm not.
builder?
No, I'm. That's why I say I have to always clarify to everybody. No, I'm not a builder. I started off on this again as a entertainer. The only I help building. I say I take that back. The only build that I really helped on, was, besides my Howard Hour, I helped when we was doing bass drop radio, and with bass drop radio, that was again it was entity back in the day, man. Shout out to the wonderful people, man. That was with that Cherry Pie and Brooklyn Bandit. With
Shout out
that
Cherry Pie.
aspect, I was learning to about the shapes, all this and everything, and like like seeing certain things about scripting. But no, I'm not a builder. I haven't sat here like in a world like just straight from nothing and into something.
Okay, I'm about to say what and
But I watch
what
a
what
lot of processes. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I watched a lot of processes. I've been around like a lot of like builds and builders. But no, I'm myself. I'm not a builder.
respect, man. Same, bro. You don't have no choice but to kind of go into build mode a little bit when you're in the space and just play around, or even be invited to some tests or edits with other collaborators and see how they do some things, bro. So I got me. I started building a little bit, but I myself am not a builder as well, bro. I like to do straight content. What inspired you to
Mm.
go to that route and not build, but start? You know what I mean? What you do?
Well, I mean, I bring it back to like what you was talking about earlier about what I mean, what kept me into this VR aspect after I've seen that it wasn't just a game. Once I seen about like this entertainment factor, like with the music and everything, people seeing it as a commodity. But I started seeing like certain like companies and everything form up in here, like like that started going like about wanting to show movies and all that, and like in this space, or start doing like showcases, and not even just about showcases, but they started forming like the thing about like with like festivals and so on, so on. But what drawed me in more with, again, like when starting off what did with Bass Drop Radio, we was able to see the creativity from these other individuals, like that wasn't just builders, like how you were saying earlier. Like these are people that was coming in that, hey, they're a beast in like whatever lane they're doing. Like you got people coming in from like straight from college. They're able to
Mm.
come in here, like they get around a certain group of what, so they're able now to learn certain things, or not even as that, they're able to see a different avenue. And now it's a whole different zone. And I really seen, like, while being in this space, you see the different calibers of yourself that you can like really like either learn or adapt with, or that you can either just sit there and be idle with. And that's what, like, I guess what kept me in the route with this.
Oh man, and not also you are artists, but not only that, you host your own show inside VR, bro. Um, how do you balance the two, and like what do you prioritize?
Well, I mean, first off, I mean, for anything, I say I prioritize myself, because it can become an overwhelming factor. Just like we was
Hmm.
making the joke earlier about, like, again, it's you get busy when you find certain avenues on here. But I'm seeing, like, when you don't know like certain, I guess, like ways to go on here, like it can swallow you like a whale. And not just being as an artist on here again, because I told you I started off as an artist on here, and I was straight just gun ho, like, okay, hey, I'm gonna be the next, like, metaverse star, just like doing this straight music. And that was like with a whole like year, like I went through a whole year of like doing that. Don't get me wrong, it was a challenging time, but it was also a justifying time, because I'm seeing like, okay, I don't need to be the next, like, big rapper or what's on here. I know what I'm good at or sort of doing, so I'm doing shows here and there, and it started building up when I'm like, okay, like my first year being in VR, I got like, over like 100 and something shows so far, like performing wise. And this is more than I
Yeah,
ever did like in IRL. So I'm sitting here like,
yeah,
okay, it's a faster route. And I say that in like in a dialect of like this never been seen before. So year one, I'm like, okay, this is not becoming a challenge, but okay, I could do this, I could do this. But also a lot of people don't understand. I have a real life too. I have family. Also, at the time, my baby
my
mother
bad.
was pregnant with her child and everything. And not even just that, like it's, you have to be present, especially in your kid's life. And that's when I started
Yeah,
seeing about with the balance aspect, because being on the headset, it takes away time. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, you can sit there just thinking you're
hmm,
on there for gonna be on there for like 30 to 40 minutes. You get on the headset, you turn around, you get on there
you
when
on there
it's
for
six
a
o'clock.
minute.
You get off at 6 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah,
I say this in the aspect of like when you become immersive, so you don't understand like how, I mean, moderation. And that's what I started saying, I guess, like when year two of this or what's up, because I'm doing the shows, I'm performing and everything, but again, it becomes like the working route. If that becomes how I say, like, the best way I could explain that, you start looking like a old dude from The Incredibles when you start to just go to work, come home, you just have that face, just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm doing this or what. So it wasn't like still like from a place of excitement, because now you're
yeah,
doing it for work or what. So because I'm working a full time
hmm,
job, but then I'm also coming from my full time job, getting on the headset and everything.
right.
And I guess what really made me like see real, like, you have to see balance with it. Uh, Year three sound like a Harry Potter movie. Year three, I'm sitting there after again having my child. I'm seeing her interact. I'm seeing my son interact. I'm seeing them watching me use this as, now it's not just me hopping on there as fun. That's not hopping on here as the entertainer. Like I told you, year one it started off with 100 and something episodes, and by year three now I'm doing, like I say, I'm on show like 300. And it's really from a working aspect now, because I started, it just wasn't from music, went from doing with plays, from doing like productions. I got to film with Kid and Play. Like, it was really different avenues that was going all on. And but it was really showing me from this entertainment factor. But I say that to say what showed me that it could become like a universal factor, like how the metaverse is. That's how the Howard Hour came about to me, and I didn't notice this that I had that type of capability because the Howard Hour came about already when I was on Bass Drop Radio. The Howard Hour was actually like a radio installment that I was doing at late night. Like best
Oh,
example,
so
I
it's
was doing
been a
like Keith
thing.
Sweat, like the Keith Sweat Hotel, like when you turn on the radio station and all that,
Right.
do it with that, and that's how the Howard Hour came about. So I'm just doing that, showing music and everything, and it wasn't evolved yet until I was able to sit down to like year two or what so at Fractured Ribs, and I'm like, huh, like I never seen nobody do like the show like music, the show just like entertainment, the show film, the show like different avenues that all is ever just one umbrella besides on
Mhm.
TV and everything. And one of the prime examples that I could always think of that I always thought of Arsenio Hall. Shout out to the GOAT, shout out to the GOAT, shout out to the GOAT. But
Shout
yes,
out
Arsenio
Arsenio
Hall.
Hall.
If you don't know, man, this is one of the funniest mans in Hollywood, but not even as that, but in Black Hollywood. And this man was able to go everywhere, anywhere, and he was there. If that makes sense. And I noticed that in a sense, like I'm like, huh, that's a sense I could bring like to the metaverse. Like not even just because he's an entertainer. A lot of people don't understand. Like he was in movies. He's a stand-up comedian. But also he became a late night talk show host. And that right there just showed me like, okay, you don't just have to stay in this one field. Like how you said about this being an entertainer, you can sit here now and evolve. And that's why I seen that with the Howard Hour. I was able to sit there and move it from a radio sense to, oh, I did it in a caliber sense of like showing like, oh, this is how I feel. I'm a colorful aspect and all that, but not even is that. I love to learn. I love to hear about people's journey, and just I love to be entertained by the journey. And with that, I
Hmm.
say that to say that's how the Howard Hour like showed me. It just went beyond just being an entertainer to showing like, okay, hey, this is something that's needed, not just for all like for me, but for all parties because you learn about what's the next big thing that's coming out, or you learn about somebody's journey, or you learn about what's popping or what's not. Like it's just how we turn to the news and everything. Like it's
Right.
cool to see that it goes way beyond just staying in again just in one factor.
No, 100%, bro. And I feel like that's what podcasts are popping right now too, man, because you can listen to different perspectives. You don't have to just be in a box listening to just the news. And we want to hear these stories because stories is why we watch TV, why we watch movies, right? And why not hear a
Hmm.
real world story? You know what I mean? And that's why we did the show too, bro. And I want to talk more about the Howard Hour. I was about to bring it up. I'm glad you just went to the conversation about it. I was about to ask you how you started. It started as a radio station, but it advanced to a show. And you said you wanted to move or be in kind of like Arsenio Hall. And I feel like you are doing exactly that, bro. Because I see you not only in VR doing stuff, but you be on outside places, conferences, conventions, just outside, bro. How do you how do you bring or awareness to those conventions and conferences? Like, what do you do? Do you set up like a booth, or how do you know what I mean?
I mean, like how you were just saying earlier, like how about with the Howard Hour started about what made me start seeing that hey, I could go like across like the nation with this. How I say, man, shout out. I seen you just had him on your show recently, man. But Meta Clean Rupert, I'll be a fool, man, if I don't give
Shout
my
out Meta
flowers when they
Clean.
do, and I'm one to give them like when we're above this ground. This man right here, man, took me to the side. AMVR took me to the side and really had a conversation with me about like what I wanted to do with the Howard Hour and what I can do with it. And like he was one of the first people that ever gave me like my first bill. Like he gave me like one of his like clubs he had, and we sat
Uh-huh.
down together. He was like, "Yo, okay, I can't just do this for you. So like, what do you want to?" And again, that's why I seen about like I know I couldn't build it, but I was telling him, like, "Oh man, wait, I could do this here, do that, like whoop to whoop and all this and that." And that what showed me like, okay, man, like this can like this can go somewhere. But what made me like start going around like bringing awareness just like to these shows and like to these conferences and everything I go to is all started. I kid you not, it all started last year when I went to my very first event ever in this space, and that was going to AWE. And AWE is at the Augmented World Expo that's in Long Beach, California. That's like every year, and
Nice.
this is like the Disney World for for XR, VR, AR technology. Like you see the next big thing, you see what's going on, you see like the stuff that goes on in the movies behind it, and that just made me sure. Like I'm sitting here, like I'm having a blast here. I tell you, like I'm like a kid in a candy shop, and but then I'm noticing like, it's not like really a lot of, like I say, just like this, it's not like a lot of, it wasn't a lot of people there to like create. It wasn't a lot of people there to sit there and like, learn from it. Everybody there, was just either, we was journalists or we sit there labeled as like, influencers and everything. But it wasn't a lot of like how I say a sense of a community that I seen yet. I was there, with people I knew and everything, or I seen around in the community, but it wasn't a sense of fact like, okay, hey, this is something that we are all like, showcase it together. But then I noticed that going on like during that year, going to a different conference like right after AWE, end up going to MetaConnect. And MetaConnect, that was my first experience. See, like, okay, this is way beyond just a sense of like I'm seeing like the business side, because AWE, you see the business side, you see the cool side, but you don't know like which way to go, because if you don't know, this is your first time. And I'm saying like, okay, man, the awareness of, yeah, us at this community, we gonna know about what's hot. We gonna know about what's gonna help with the mental. We gonna know about what's going on. But a lot of people don't know that they can go and get the next big thing to help, like with PTSD, or like they
Mm.
have like certain things in there that you can sit, like if you have back problems, you can sit here and get a massage, like a whole robotic massage chair for yourself that like can be fitted to your body, but you won't know about
Mm.
it if you never like been to this like event, or if you've been around this type of community. And that's when I started like seeing in my head like with the Howard Hour, like the Arsenio Hall approach. So I'm like, oh, I just don't have to sit here and be funny with it. I just don't have to sit here and be like just talking about technology. Like, no, if it sits here and perks my interest, I know it could sit there and catch somebody else's interest. I mean, that's the thing about human interaction. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to thrive, but not even just that. We're supposed to pass on information that we collect. That's how you survive. That's an ecosystem. I mean, that's how you grow. And I started seeing that with the Howard Hour, and especially then going to these events. I'm seeing like how I said earlier, like I thought there wasn't a sense of community. I'm like, no, oh, it is a community, because each event that I was going to, it was the same people. And I mean, these are events that's going all over, from like California, Vegas, Miami, even like again, all Texas, like all over. But I'm seeing these are all like still major brands that are still want to push this push this brand, like not this brand, but push this entity way beyond us. And that's why I seen about like with the Howard Hour, I was able to showcase that a little bit more, because nobody else was like showcasing it just from an aspect of for everybody.
All right, bro. And I'm glad you did that, bro. And I'll be wondering what goes on in those conferences, bro. Interesting that you said that. So they be pretty much showing the new technologies of what's going on. And have you ever got a booth? You got a booth?
No, I say I go there because that's what I love about with these, like when we go to these conferences, I go there as a influencer, or I go there as a media representative or so. Like again, just like how we used to look at our favorite people back in the day, like how Nick Cannon used to be back in like for Nickelodeon. Like you go on to all these events and everything, like, hey, this is the Nick Cannon show. Like that's what the Howard Hour does. I'm able to go
I
and
like that.
cover these events. That's the best way I could put it. And
That's hard.
like so it's like a like an MTV approach for technology conferences, but not even just with technology conferences, but a lot of these events I end up going to, like I end up getting to cover a government conference, bro, and it's all dealing with VR, AR technology, and that's what the
Mm.
mind blowing part to me. But these were all military sectors, like space power. Shout out to space power, man, wonderful, wonderful people down there. But not even is that, you see that this technology is really for everybody, and that's what like really that showed me like, okay, like I see why now. But again, like how you said, but certain people don't know about getting booths or so, or certain people don't know about they can showcase like their stuff and all that at like one of these events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm about to say, what was the coolest thing that you seen in one of the booths or the showcases when you was out there?
Man, I gotta say, besides seeing robots walk around and everything, I want to say like probably one of the coolest things I've seen so far at at these conferences is one that I say is like for like victims of like gun violence. I've been around people with that myself. Been around a bit, been a victim of gun violence. Uh, a lot of times you don't know how you can cope with that. A lot of times you don't know how certain ways you could sit there and like not use it, like find a different album. I mean, I'm gonna try to not sound like one of those like cliches medicine commercials, but you don't know how a lot of times to process, if I can put it like that. And one of the best things I've seen going to one of these conferences, shout out to Mason Industries. They was with HTC Vivers. They had a simulator or what so that you could put on that it not mess with your reflexes, but it basically tames your reflexes or what so that you can see it in a moderation and a sensible form, like you're not so jumpy or whatsoever and everything. And it helps with PTSD, what I found out after doing it multiple times. And it's really in a sense factor of that was one of the best things I ever seen. I'm like, this can help with like people like will cope like because a lot of people don't want to admit if they have a problem or if they have something going on. But you can sit here and put on this headset to like again fix that problem and you don't even know you're fixing it. That was one of the biggest things I've seen so far. I say like visual wise, got to go to CES in Vegas. Again, I told this to everybody, sign up for these conferences too. Oh, let me say that before I say anything else. A lot of these conferences, folks, you can sign up for. I tell this you again, you can sign up for these conferences. Yes, man, you're gonna have to come out of pocket sometime, if you want to stay, all this and that. But a lot of these times you can sign up for them and they could give you passes either at a discounted rate or you can sit there and if you have enough followers, if you have like you can sit there and get badges. There are a lot of times these people don't know if they can sign up for these events. Like had so many people come down to AWE this year that was able to sign up and all that as influencers and everything because of the way that they push this brand of technology. You can sit here and do makeup. You can sit here and do all types. And I tell this to everybody, look for these events. You don't have to sit here and do a government event. You can sit here, you could look for technology conferences that's all around. You could even be in your local area. Just get your feet wet. But no, I say that to say, but one of the most visual things I seen was at CES, and that's why I was able to see. Shout out to Will I Am and this crew at FYI. They have in the new Lexuses and everything going out. Oh, with Mercedes. I'm sorry, the new Mercedes and everything that's coming out. You can sit here and have music made to your own feelings. However you feeling or what, so like it will calibrate to play like whatever song I guess will be right for your mode. But not even as that, you will have it constructed to like again how you feel, and this is in your car. And I'm sitting here just like, we're doing this already. Like we're doing this in our cars. So I can just imagine when we put on a headset, we just be like, okay, hey, I'm feeling blue. You can sit there and feel like the rain is coming over you or what so. And I think that's like one of the biggest things I've seen so far, like while being on this journey.
Yeah, that is crazy wild, bro. Damn, bro. Yo, I'm about to say I want to do a little personal question, bro, before we sign out, bro. 'Cause I like to keep it short and sweet. I
Mhm.
plan on doing at least another season and bringing the guests back and maybe doing a switcheroo and maybe kind of showcasing what y'all do inside here while I be in real life. So hopefully we can circle back, bro. Hopefully we get another time. We probably got to play
Yes,
another
yes,
phone
we definitely
tag
doing
game,
that.
but we'll be in there. Uh, what other VR creators or projects inspire your work?
You say what other?
VR creators or projects inspire your work?
Oh, I mean, I was going to say it's probably a merger again. Like I said, one of them earlier, Medically Rupert. I love what he does with his edition in this space. Like, hey, going after it, like virtually connected, man. Like you really have to sit there and pave a way on here. Music wise, I want to say, man, shout out to the wonderful man people. Hey, Yo Afro, Fiji Bang, DJ Manny. I I'm so it's like inspiring to really see cats like this go and chase factors like this because you're saying we're getting ready to close up because it made me think about I'm able to sit here and do events and all that like we have coming up this weekend, Metal Woodstock 4.
Metal
And like it's
Woodstock.
so many great creators. I mean, I'm happy to see that. Like Metal Woodstock 4, I was able to start this. I have met a great creator, JOTS Woody. Y'all make sure y'all go at him. He has a Woodstock World back in 2022. Came to him around my birthday and everything, and I was like, "Yo, man, I want to sit here and do something real proper with, like I say, like with your world." And Metal Woodstock came about, and now we're able to sit here. So this is our fourth year with it. Man, it's getting bigger and better every year. Not even as that, but creator wise, shout out to my people, man. Joy and Jay Dunn, man.
Shout
That's
out Joe and Jay, bro.
they're inspirational. But like with my people though, like who I'm seeing like on the ground with this, I love this. Like with they're chasing the factor. Again, shout out to the homie Super, but my homie Tech Man Prime,
Super.
and I say, well, one more creator that is really
Prime.
that's making my ears perk up and that's really showcase like, hey, you could really do something with this yourself, beneficial. Like just your the camera work, bro.
Respect, bro.
Just the way you catch, like you catch stuff like it's like Spike Lee, the best way I put it. And one of my biggest things, I love Spike Lee movie because he's the only one that I see he does like the little rolling aspect with the camera. You know, we all seen it when you're just standing there and the camera is just moving. You're the
Yeah.
only person I kid you not that I've seen that does that motion on here, on this, like however you shoot, however you do it. And I mean that bro is really inspiring because that just makes you sit here and like wonder, like, dang, this is so much stuff that you can really learn from here, and like so much stuff you can learn because I'm not an editor, but you have to do videos and stuff too. If I have to sit here, cut together my my reels and all that, and so at certain times when you have to sit there and learn certain stuff, but to really see somebody that's really passionate about what they do, that really does it, no man, that's what inspires me. So those are the creators and the project so far that is making it, bigger and superb.
Respect, man, for real, man. And I thank you, bro. And you're an inspiration to me too, bro. How you just consistent with what you've been doing. How you a good light, bro, good energy. You perform, you all over the place, bro. Whether it's artistry, whether it's hosting, whether it's just supporting, whether it's being outside with it, bro. So I want to encourage you to keep going, bro. And I can't wait to see you in real life, and we can do some projects, bro, for real. And I thank you, bro. Anything else you want to say
Yes.
before we sign out?
Yes, man. Make sure, man. Everybody, y'all tune in. Y'all tune in. This Saturday is going down September 27th. Like I said earlier, Meta Woodstock 4. Throw up them foes, throw up
This
them foes. Yes,
Saturday.
yes, yes, man. We got some hard hitters coming through. But not even as that, man. It's a virtual festival that I really want y'all to be a part of too. We will be live streaming it. You see the man that right there behind the lens. I was just telling about you can catch it streaming from his page. Again, it's all link in the thing will be in the bio. But not even as that, man. We have Metal Woodstock going on. Tomorrow night, we got the Howard Hour live going on, man. Got the wonderful my Oculus. Yes, man. If you ever had a problem going on with your MetaQuest headset, these are people that
Nice.
you really hit up to really get it fixed, and they some of the best with it. You don't get me wrong. And we're doing that, man. And man, I'm telling you, it's just so packed all before my birthday. I'm also having a birthday coming up, y'all, this week or
Oh
on
yeah.
Monday, but right before then, doing a virtual watch party, y'all, Sunday for my Jubilee episode that I have dropping with Surrounded. Yes, man. Yes, it's 20 of us versus one conspiracy. I mean, it's 20 conspiracy theories versus one journalist, and that will be dropping Sunday, man. So it's
Oh
gonna be an
snap.
eventful
That's
weekend.
in
Make sure
VR?
y'all tune in. Make sure y'all see the streams. I mean, the channels and all that under Howard 702 LV. Y'all know where to find me, and it'll be all under the Howard Hour. So yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Howard Hour, bro. Howard 702 LV. The boy, man. Thank you so much again, sir. For real, bro. Thanks. And that's going to
Uh,
be a wrap on this episode of In the Lens with Benz. Huge thank you, bro, to Howard 702 LV. Instagram right down below. Thanks for joining us and sharing your story, bro. Make sure to check him out on all his socials,
yeah.
bro. And thank you to everyone watching and listening. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to follow and share and stay tapped in for more creators and innovators stepping into the future of VR and AI. Until next time, this is Benz signing off. Keep creating, keep imagining, and always stay in the lens, my people.